it's never been about showing off for me. When I'm on the stage, it's not that I crave attention. It's more the ultimate challenge, really, to push yourself mentally and physically to bring the best possible condition that your body could be in and showcase it. Showcase it in its prime against other people that have done the same. Everyone on stage has gone through that journey, and so you're all aware of each other's struggles, and you've all been there. And that moment on stage is when you get to show the sum of all those struggles put together. I wouldn't say I'm ultimately massively competitive, but that's a part of it, because if I'm honest, I never enter anything with the hope of coming second or the hope of just turning up. If it's a competition, I'll enter it and I want to win. It's a healthy thing, I think. You need to want to win because it pushes you, it drives you more, and that's ultimately what's going to make the difference on those nights when you do want to go out with your mates and you do want to eat that dinner that's not within those macros, or you don't want to train, you're tired, or you've got work, family, kids, all these obstacles. Ultimately it's that drive to succeed that's going to make you overcome those obstacles and put the effort in when it's needed. Hi, I'm Matt Newman, Pure Elite Pro, and this is my vlog, if you like, about my journey to the Pure Elite stage and ultimately ending up with one of these, Pure Elite Pro card, one of the original Pure Elite Pros, in fact. My journey to Pure Elite all started back in February 2015. I was on a photo shoot in Muscleworks gym in Hackney. Brought a pretty good condition to the shoot, and I was talking to the photographer, and I just said that that was the year that I was ready to make the next step in my fitness journey and start competing. And he recommended Pure Elite, and it's something I haven't heard of it before at the time. Did some research and loved the look of it, loved the feel of it really. And it was only about a month away at the time. It was the April show. So I thought, yeah, let's do it. That's gonna be my first competition. So took some advice from a few people. I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of posing or what category I was supposed to be in, whether I was muscle model or fitness model. I've got quite a good muscle definition and density, so I wasn't sure whether I was a muscle model or fitness model, mainly because I'd say I'm slightly more defined than some fitness models, but not quite as big as some muscle models. So I wasn't really aware of what category, so I entered both. And in terms of posing, I had to find someone to teach me something because I didn't know what I was doing in that respect. So hooked up with Audrey, and she took me through the steps, taught me how to pose, taught me how to walk, taught me about stage presence, about confidence. Taught me all those things that you need really. You need to walk out on stage, you need to own the stage, you need to be confident, you need to be like an alpha. That's how I look at it. In life and on stage, you need to be an alpha. You need to be leading the pack, confident, you need to ooze confidence. So that's what she taught me. And so the day came, competition in April, stepped out onto stage in both categories, and what did I learn from that? The main thing I learned from the day of competing was it was a really, really long day. I was obviously depleted in my carb depletion, not quite as much as I am nowadays when I compete. To be honest with you, I didn't have any really prep for peak week really. I went in with my eyes shut. Now, at the time I thought I was obviously ready, and looking back at it, my prep was really dire really, and so I was depleted on carbs, and so I was tired. And for some reason, I remember thinking it would just be like 4 or 5 hours, just a quick get on stage, do your thing, find out if you won a trophy or whatever, and then get out of there. And obviously that wasn't the case. I remember the overwhelming smell of fake tan and deep heat, and again, standing in that tent, completely naked with a sock on in front of a female you've never met before was quite an eye-opener into the world of competing. So I stepped on stage, did my thing, both categories, and I thought, at the time, I thought I was in quite a good condition really. At the time, I thought I did all right. And when the call-outs came at the end, I hadn't placed, hadn't really achieved anything. Obviously stepped on stage and done my thing, but that was it. And that was hard. That was hard to take because I guess I was confident and I thought I'd done well, and I hadn't. Not that it was a complete failure, but there's no point saying, brush myself off and start again, and I've took it as motivation, because you don't. It hurts. It does hurt. You travel all that way down, spend the whole day. I missed my last train home, so I remember I had to find I was on the phone to my wife trying to find a B&B last minute because all the hotels were booked up, and I was literally walking around the streets of Margate, tired, grumpy, felt completely like failure basically, walking around eating a mini pizza from Domino's, trying to find a B&B to rest my head until the morning, and luckily I found one. And I remember waking up in the morning, and obviously when you sleep on it, things do get better, and I began to draw the positives from the experience. My wife obviously helped me a lot with that. You've got to be realistic. It was my first ever competition, and as I say, looking back on it, I went in it with my eyes shut really. My prep was non-existent, and clearly didn't deserve to place. So then it was all about assessing really and evaluating the situation and working out how to get better. One of the things that I needed to do was obviously improve my physique and my posing and confidence on stage. The physique side of things, legs needed work, a lot of work. My legs were not in proportion with my top half, so obviously all that work happened in the gym. I had all summer worked hard in the gym, lots of compound movements to get some mass onto my legs. It was difficult to begin with. Finally started to see some action there. In regards to posing, went back to Audrey, improved on the confidence, improved on the technique, and the posing within whatever, my chosen category, which I believed at the time was fitness model. I don't think I was looking at, when I was on stage next to the other guys in muscle model, they were beasts next to me. I wasn't big enough to be a muscle model, just in terms of pure size overall. The muscle definition might have been there, but I felt not quite as big next to them, which obviously had an effect on my confidence, which would have shown in my posing. So fitness model, I committed to that category, and then looked at the weight class and everything else, and in November, actually scrap that, rewind, do a little rewind thing now on the video, edit some kind of rewind speed up thing. It was about a month after Pure Elite, maybe 3 weeks, I got a message from Janine that said that I'd won the male audience category. And I remember looking at my phone, I think I got it through Tweet first. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I've won what? And I couldn't believe I'd won a trophy, and I was absolutely over the moon. And I think that was the moment where I thought, actually, that's my first competition, and I walked away with a trophy, and it felt amazing. And I remember thinking, right, so I've got something to build on now. That's a really good start. And if I've won a trophy with that level of prep and that level of physique and posing, then I can do better, basically. And that really pushed me and motivated me to carry on. And so because of that trophy, I was invited to compete at the November World Championships. So by that stage, physique had come along, legs have come along, posing was more confident. And it was, once you've done it once or twice, so competed in other competitions during the year, you feel more confident, you know what to expect. So the prep going into the day was so much better. So my peak week preparation was better, although it was very difficult, obviously, like all peak week prep is. It was much better. And I've forgotten something else. Don't know if we'll rewind that bit or not, edit this bit. So after the Pure Elite show in April, when I was there, between the hours and hours of waiting for other people to get on stage and the walking around, that mini expo, I bumped into Biosynergy Nutrition, put my name down on a sheet. Really liked their nutrition and their products and their values really as a company, and their I don't know, what it is they stand for. They didn't seem like one of these companies that just want to sell. There was a reason behind it, and there's the reason for the ingredients in their products was responsible, basically. So I remember putting my name down on the sheet, like everyone else, to see if I could be an ambassador for them. And again, it was, I don't know if it was after or before I realised I won the trophy for a male audience category, but I think it was around the same time I got an email from Neil from Biosynergy saying they'd be interested in taking me on as an ambassador. And that was a big moment for me, because when you're in the fitness industry and you're looking at all the greats in the fitness industry, they're travelling the world and they've got sponsorships, and I thought, wow, I can't believe it, here I am, and I've got a nutrition company that are interested in having me promote their product and ultimately obviously use their product, and it was brilliant. So signed with them, been with them ever since, still am with them now, and that was a really good boost as well to confidence, because it feels like they're taking me seriously, so I'm taking myself seriously, and I was more people that I want to impress ultimately, I guess. So fast forward then to November, peak week prep was done, and more importantly the prep for the day was done, so I knew what to expect in terms of the hanging around for hours and hours and hours, and the fatigue, the smell of deep heat and rice crackers and rice cakes, and fake tan and all that. So earphones, carbs, lots of carbs, maybe a book, but basically, and a positive mental attitude, I guess. They're the things you need to pack in your bag. Main thing is carbs. And I'll obviously work on your carb timing. I haven't got a coach. I've never been coached, but physically, in terms of the gym or in terms of my diet or prep, nothing against people that do that, but I wanted it to be my journey really. I wanted to take all the credit, I guess. So I didn't want to pay someone to tell me when to eat, what to eat. I wanted to work it out myself, because then it's all me, it's my journey and it's my achievement. I didn't want to share it with anyone. So I managed to get that right for the November show, and good prep. Tan was good. More importantly, my physique was better than it was. At the time, it was the best it's ever been. And, my legs had come along a long way, and there was more proportion then. And the fitness model category, walked out on stage, it was the over 75 category, because I couldn't quite come in under 75. I think it was about 75.5 kilos, literally. Stepped out on stage, felt good, and ultimately placed 4th in the World Championships. And I remember thinking the condition of the other competitors was just incredible. Looking around in the backstage, in the changing rooms, just seeing all these guys in amazing shape, and so to come 4th was amazing, absolutely amazing. However, the only disappointment for me was no pro card. 4th place, no pro card. I think they were only placing 1st and 2nd for pro cards, and that was the time they were giving out pro cards for the first time. The first original Pure Elite Pros, and that was part of my prep. I really wanted to get one of them. Really wanted to be a purely original pro. And so that was a hit. Although the 4th place soothed it somewhat, made it a little bit easier to swallow. And then again, must have been probably just before Christmas, I don't know, maybe beginning of December, because I remember tweeting my happiness about it with a Santa hat. So it was on the build up to Christmas that I was told that again I won the male audience category, and this came for me in the post, and I was one of the original Pure Elite Pros, and I couldn't believe it. I'd done it. That was the target. I wanted to get a Pure Elite Pro. I wanted to be one of the pro card holders, and I'd done it, and it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling, and so looking back at it, I guess it would have been nice to place in the top 3, but that's good because it gives you something to build towards now. I think if you compete and you win first time and that's it, and you're at the top, you've only got one place to go really, and gradually I'm on upward incline, and ultimately I don't want that incline to stop, and so it's nice to have somewhere else to go. So now obviously this year's target is a top 3 finish, or ideally the overall. So I'm competing in the Pro Show in November this year. Got a long way to go yet. I'm up to 85 kilos at the moment, so obviously it's going to be a 5 kilo loss for peak week shred. So at the moment it's a 5 kilo increase than my stage weight, and I'm hoping to maybe boost that over the months. So ultimately I'm 10 kilos heavier on stage in muscle mass. So the only issue there is going to be whether I'm going to be muscle model or fitness model. I haven't really decided that yet. But I'd be lying if I said that I'd be entering the Pro Show in November to win. Sorry, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to win, because I do. I want to win that. Because there's only one thing more after this, and that's winning that overall title. So that's what it's all about now. And the more shows you do, the more confident you get, really. And having competed with other shows over the year, the thing that I came back to about Pure Elite, and what I'm so proud of about being part of the Pure Elite family and representing them as a pro, is that the atmosphere backstage in Pure Elite is unique. It is like a family. It is like although you're competing against each other, it's a friendly competitiveness. It's there isn't any haters really. You're all, we've all been through the same struggles to get to that level of conditioning, and so we're all in the same boat. And instead of people hating on each other and ignoring each other, and it's more about giving each other advice and sharing your achievements and sharing your opinions and things, and helping each other. And that was the thing that amazed me about Pure Elite. Even the first time I competed, was the friendly warmth backstage. That's a big thing that I think is unique to Pure Elite, and really, really helpful if you're competing for the first time. Definitely Pure Elite's got to be the one for you, because it makes you feel, it takes that edge off. It takes the fact that you don't necessarily know anyone, and you're out of your comfort zone. There is that comfort zone. People come together. People bake cakes for when you get off the stage, and people, there's selfies. People sharing experiences and having a laugh, and music's banging, and you're getting your pump on backstage, and everyone's talking about how good you look, and how patting each other on the back. And when the results are called out, people are genuinely happy for you. If you've done well, you walk into a changing room with cheers and eruption of claps and whatever, and it feels good, because it's nice, because you get friends from that, and you share those experiences that you haven't shared with anyone else, and that's a really nice feeling, to compete in such a nice atmosphere. And even on the stage, being next to someone, it takes that kind of animosity and that competitiveness away from it, because although yes, you are competing against the person next to you, it's more about you though. It's not about beating or being better than him or her. It's being the best you can be, and that's a really healthy way of competing, because it brings the best out of people and makes everything's positive, because no one performs well in a negative attitude. So I think that's a really unique thing and a positive thing for Pure Elite, and so I'm really proud to represent them in that respect, because I wouldn't recommend any competition over Pure Elite, and the fact that it's the fastest growing competition speaks for itself, really. One of the things that's obviously been tough in terms of competing is I'm a husband, I'm a father, I've got a full-time job, I work shifts in London, so night shifts, early shifts, late shifts, all over the place really. Sometimes short notice changes to my shift pattern, and so to juggle those things takes time, and a lot of understanding from your loved ones, from my wife and obviously my son. So I've got them to be grateful for, and they're obviously play a massive part in my journey, because they support me through that. Because there are some times when you have to make sacrifices. You have to commit to training, and you have to commit to the diet. And the diet can be ridiculous when you're sitting there with all these tubs and you're weighing chicken, thinking about your macros, and it's ridiculous. but it is obviously worth it. And so you do need a good support network around you, and I'm really lucky to have that. And it's good because I like to spread the message that I think a lot of people that see these guys on stage think that maybe they're unemployed or they're students, and they've got maybe loads of money and loads of time and loads of free time, and that's not the case. We're all real people with real struggles and real obstacles, and the guys that make progress in life are people that overcome obstacles. People would call them excuses, fatigue through work, tiredness, sacrifices through family, work pressure, money pressure. We've all got those things, and so to overcome them, or to make a workaround, to make them work with your schedule for training and eating and everything else. That's the difference between competing and moving forward and being successful ultimately. So it's important to you hear people that make excuses. I haven't got time. I haven't got time for a workout today. It's a 40-minute workout and I haven't got time. Obviously you've got time, but it's about making time and about committing to what it is that you want to achieve. And for me, I wanted to achieve pro card status. I wanted to be recognised as a pro for that particular federation, and so it takes commitment, it takes sacrifice, it takes hard work. It's worth it. It's worth it 100 times over. And hopefully, at the end of the year, I'll do another one of these videos, and maybe, just maybe, I have something else to show for it. I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Come and follow me on my social media. My website's coming up soon. Love to hear your thoughts and comments. Hope this is helpful. Get in touch. Any questions, I'll happily answer them. Cheers, guys.